And Marksman of 117B says, Chris, will you watch the new Society of Magical N-Words?
I saw that trailer. Someone was asking us to play the trailer on Film Thread on Friday. I didn't understand. I thought it was the old Key and Peele sketch, which is brilliant. It's very funny. It's like a 3-4 minute sketch sort of talking about this trope in movies, right?
Right.
Of a black person that comes in and they're like so magical and whatever. The trailer for that film is just straight up racist. I mean, it just is. And it's perhaps like a lot of these trailers kind of bait you and then they're not as bad as, but to put that trailer out in the world is just sowing more seeds of division. I don't know. I mean, I think it's important to cover, but I think that anyone that covers it who's being honest, who's being very honest, this is it's a trend. It's a growing trend. And I think it is going to lead us all to a bad place. And yeah, I look at that and I really hope it fails miserably, because anything that pushes division needs to be shut down. It really does need to be shut down. There are a lot of challenges that we have to face. And also, on a completely side note, why is Mark Zuckerberg building a compound in Hawaii away from everything?
That is scary.
That to me is the scariest story that needs to be investigated. What does he know that none of us know?
Yeah, that is not very
frightening. But all of this stuff, the racial division in this country, which is worse that I've seen since I've been alive. And I don't know. I felt by the 90s, it's like, it wasn't the first thing that people brought up. And it sort of it disgusts me that we're at this place where a film like that can be considered a mainstream comedy. That between that and Civil War, 2024 is going to be a great year. I mean, do you really want to see something like that? Who is that movie for even? You know what I mean? And others have pointed out, and not white people, others have pointed out that it's like, so like the whole thing is like he wants to get with a white girl. Like, what is this? It's a whole, there's so many problems with that. It was a very funny Key and Peele sketch that pointed out a dumb trope in movies that someone expanded into some stupid Harry Potter thing. And if they have these magical powers, why the hell are they helping a bunch of white people? There's a lot more you could do if you've got magical powers.
Yeah, it feels like their magical powers don't protect them. Like if they say the white people are so dangerous, it's like, well, if you have magical powers, how are they still so dangerous? I'm trying to figure that out.
That line really confused me.
Same.
Yeah.
I cannot believe with a straight face they're releasing that film. Should have been a direct to streaming thing or a small indie movie. I'm just, wow. Now
I have a feeling this is going to be a woke film that thinks it's clever. That's my hunch.
Right. I mean, the better movie that deals with this topic is American Fiction with Jeffrey Wright, where he's probably a black writer who doesn't want to be considered a black writer.
That sounds good.
Himself a black. I'm a writer. I'm not a black writer. I'm a writer. I write fiction. And he gets so sick of it. He's like, fine, I'll pander. And he writes this stupid pandering. Like he makes up a completely different identity as an author. And suddenly, because he writes the stupid pandering black novel, that gets then accepted by white people. It's a total pushback against white progressives. American Fiction's, but now the movie's good. I wouldn't say it's great. Jeffrey Wright is great in it though. But the premise it brings up, it will definitely trigger white liberals for sure. Are going to be triggered by American Fiction. The Society of the Magical Negro, I think, is very ill thought, and I'm shocked. This is the other thing too, that there was no one in that process. If you had stopped that movie from getting made, what do you think people who at the corporation where you work, what do you think they would think of you if you just said, excuse me, actually, and you maybe started pointing out, here's some problems that are with this film. Do you think anyone could critique it? It's beyond critique. And I think that's an issue. And
basically only a black person would be able to, and even then, I don't know.
Oh, they will.
I don't know. I look at that film and I just think we are headed for dark times, and there are people that now have been given all the information and fuel they need to justify bad behavior. Okay, think about that for a minute. This is what these movies are doing. That and Civil War. Those two trailers came out back to back. This is not a good place for this country. And where are the voices of reason? They're going to speak out and say something about this.
I know they are being silenced for being alt-right.
Yeah, it's YouTubers, not like our leaders. That, God, I'm old enough to remember when a politician would give an inspiring speech that would make us want to aspire to something greater, or even entertainment that did that, like a freaking Superman movie did that. I want to aspire to something greater. I'm going to be a Boy Scout. Look, I can't fly, I don't have superpowers, but I'm going to be a good person. And that's what entertainment used to do.
Did we get this one?
Yeah,
yes.
I didn't.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we got it.
I don't even know what that is. So
okay,
I can only see so much stuff. I try to see the big mainstream stuff. I like to see the small indie stuff that's worth discussing.
All right, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
well, you got to remember, Civil War and this magical one, these were all written and filmed over a year and a half ago. The industry was different then. So we can only hope that after these failures, they if they do fail, that they get the message.
That needs to go down like Bros, right?
Yeah.
Bros,
right.
Hopefully the Hollywood learned, if you're going to make Bros, make it for under 10 million. It's an indie movie. It opens at Sundance. It does moderately well, and it goes to streaming. That's that movie. And I've seen those movies for decades. You know, the thing is that audience is a limited audience. Yeah. And Bill S. Preston Esquire says Bros went down in a different way.
Yeah, to be punny.
Yeah. Well, what is the thing that they say on Geeks and Gamers? This person eats corn the long way. Is that... Anyways, but it's fine. I have no problem with Bros. It's just not a mainstream market movie.
Shouldn't have cost $30-40 million exactly.
Yeah, I have no problem with a lot of stuff. It's just because I've been watching indie movies since I was a kid, since the 80s. These little indie movies, they have messaging in them, and they're small films, and they have a small market and cater to the small market. And when you cater to mainstream, if you're Disney, you need to make movies for families, and it might help rather than being some activist at a company. Maybe it would be a good, I'm going to suggest a radical idea before I leave. One last thing, radical idea. If you work for a company that makes family entertainment that for families that mostly have children, maybe you should have a family. So you have an innate understanding, and anyone here that is a father, you know, you're different. You look at things differently. You're for forever, for the rest of your life, you are protecting your kids. Okay. Even when they're adults, you're at least guiding them towards good decision-making. Okay. It's a different kind of parenting when you're an adult, but I'll just say, maybe you work for Disney, you have a family, or maybe this is a more simple example. If you work for a cosmetic company, you probably should be a woman who wears cosmetics, right?
Well, Disney doesn't even have people on the board who have an investment in the company, so why the hell would they even worry about what you're talking about? Or you got like
Glenn Hetrick, the guy is special effects makeup. He knows tons of stuff about special effects makeup.
Well,
and
exactly. That's a different kind of makeup. All I'm saying is,
he does. He has beauty brands as well. That's the thing.
Can't sell something you don't understand, and to have the activist element invade Disney in a way where they're telling stories for families, yet the majority of them do not have families or kids.
And it's the same problem.
Marketplace. You're out of touch.
Yeah, it's the same problem with the MPA. But you're right, Chris. There used to be a market for movies like Bros and weird movies like this like Hedwig and the Angry Inch and the Greasy Strangler, which I know what I'm getting into when I see these movies, but I don't expect them to spend $30-40 million on making these kind of movies either.
Yeah, they've infected mainstream entertainment and divided the audience, and this is not a good thing. And it I believe that it will contribute to bad things happening in the world. What I'm encouraged by is the term "cancel pigs." That someone came up with the term. Was it Mark Millar who came up with the term?
It was Mark Millar, as far as we know. Yeah,
he's at least made it famous anyway. That's for sure.
So the fact that that term exists, and we can now we have something to get under the skin of some of these people that contribute nothing, that literally contribute nothing. Good. And good on Yellow Flash for making those AI art.
Yeah, he helped me out learn how to do it.
Yeah, massive thanks to Yellow Flash for helping us out. And that was the point that I made with our video as well. I agree with you. Yes, it's good. We have a name for this particular brand.
These are the ones I made here.
I have always argued that every generation has its own disease, and every generation will go to their version of authoritarianism. And then you only have a name for it later on. But just like with demons, you bind them by the name. Before you have the name, you can't really do anything, because you can call them a Yahtzee, but that's just kind of like a joke. Although they are the ideological successors.
I'm glad that finally someone came up with something that gets under their skin. It's easy to identify. I love that Yellow Flash is using it in like every other thumbnail. I love it. The AI art AI art's a good thing. You know, it's a tool. In the right hands, creatively, you can create art like this.
Oh God. They make it difficult.
I want Cancel Pig merch. Where's my Cancel Pig merch?
Oh, it's coming.
Honestly, at the end of the day, I probably could have drawn some of these quicker, but yeah, no, like
this is I love it. I love it.
Here's one I made mixing his with mine.
And it's a shorthand to basically say you're not even worth paying attention to. Shut the F up. Yeah, I love this. I love this. Because there's a lot of dark things happening in the world.
This clip was taken from Midnight's Edge in the Morning, which streams live every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on the Midnight's Edge main channel. There you can send in your live questions and comments before clips and full stream replays are uploaded to Midnight's Edge live archives. We are also on Twitter, Rumble, Odyssey and Facebook, so smash that like, help share, subscribe and join us.